Hello, it's Oni Elize and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing me, I'm so glad you can be here. This is my third video on YouTube and I've been doing kind of like an About Me series just to open up about my life experiences that I still hold a lot of big emotions for. I feel like no matter when it happened, I carry feelings for everything and I'm just still trying to process my emotions. So talking here helps me express myself and maybe helps process it a bit more. So the topic I decided to pick today is psychosis. More specifically, my personal experience with psychosis. But I'm going to start with the definition of psychosis. It says, psychosis is characterized by a loss of touch with reality. It is a state where a person experiences distorted perceptions, thoughts, and behaviors that are not consistent with their surroundings. People with psychosis typically experience delusions, false beliefs, for example, that people on television are sending them a special message or saying that they are trying to hurt them, and hallucinations like seeing or hearing things that do not exist, such as hearing voices telling them to do something or criticizing them. Other symptoms can include incoherent or nonsensical speech and behavior that is inappropriate for the situation. In my situation that I wanted to share with you, the last psychosis I have had two main psychotic episodes in my lifetime, and they have both been drug-induced psychosis, which means the medication prescribed to me or given to me induced my episode. The one that I'm going to speak about happened in 2021, and the other one had happened to me in around 2012. I think I was like 11 at the time. But drug-induced psychosis is often caused by taking too much of a certain drug, so the level of toxicity provokes paranoia and a psychotic episode. So at the time, I had just had a pretty rough breakup, and I did not eat too much for about 2 weeks while I was still taking my medication. I straight up was drinking applesauce. I don't know what was wrong with me. I was in a state where I was just straight up not thinking about being alive, so I was just really going through the motions. Unfortunately, 2 weeks of that slowly turned into psychosis, and I did not recognize the irregular things occurring, and I just kept telling myself that everything would be okay. Until one day, I woke up feeling like everything had the vibrance and color turned up to an uncomfortable amount. I brushed it off and I did my errands, but I remember feeling very out of body that day when I was running errands, but it didn't really alarm me because I felt like it could have just been my anxiety. But when I got home, I couldn't see correctly and I felt like something was wrong, but it was too late for me to do anything as I started hearing voices, but they were reassuring me as if telling me to brace myself. It was kind of weird. Well, I ended up asking a friend to come and help me, and I ended up hallucinating and losing control of myself and felt like I was watching myself move, trying to take control back, but something just kept taking me. I was saying strange and scary things, yelling, and was very confused. I was very scared and was begging for help, but unfortunately, I had picked the wrong person to help me in this time, and they ended up assaulting me and leaving me there still in psychosis. I called them to take me to a hospital, but I ended up on my own anyways. It was the duration of 2 to 3 days, and by the end of it, I was outside, naked, in my backyard, fighting for my life. I was trying not to take my clothes off. I do remember that, but I just ended up blacking out. I was having periods of blackouts. It was, yeah, it was really fucked up. Well, my landlord, the lovely lady that she is, called emergency services for me, and we ended up at the hospital. Unfortunately, I was still very confused when I left the first unit I went to, so I ended up back in the arms of the person who hurt me. And they ended up feeding me my medication at too high of a dosage. So I do not recall telling them to give me medication, and anything they gave me, I believed they were doing it to help me because I asked for help, and they said yes, and I was in psychosis, and I trusted them, and I believed anything that they said. The medication I was taking had to be started at the smallest dosage possible if I missed just 1 day, and then build it back up to the dosage that was given to me by the doctor. He gave me the medication at a very high dosage for around a week. I was straight up in psychosis again. Now this time was horrifying. The first time I got out just a little shook up and scared, but the second time I gave up. I gave up on being alive and I accepted the fact that I might die. I was so scared. I was so scared. I smelled decay and heard the sounds of flies as if there was something dead with me. I was too scared to move at some point and I was blacked out for long periods of time. Longer periods of time than the first one. Sorry, I literally had to write this down or I would be so scrambled right now. I was very scared and something happened that I didn't know could happen involuntarily. Age regression. I was in the mindset of a child while being tossed around by a man like a toy. And I think I regressed because I couldn't handle what was happening. I still don't understand age regression or really understand what happened very well, but either way, the only reason my suffering ended was because I was taken by the police to the ward because the person who had me didn't know what to do with me anymore and I was functioning like a broken toy. Like they broke their toy and didn't know what to do with me, so they gave me back to my dad after a week and he called 911. Oh my God. I was still in psychosis at this point, literally hallucinating out of my mind. And I ended up being put through more trauma at the second hospital I arrived to because I assume the staff just hates their jobs. They're so mean and cold. They quote unquote booty juiced me 3 times for being scared and confused. And they actually could have killed me with the new medication they gave me on top of still being very much in psychosis, stumbling around the halls like a zombie staring at everybody and anything lifelessly. I feel very lucky to actually have survived, this ordeal. Unfortunately, I had to spend the next few months attempting to recover while being stuck in a toxic relationship. That began during my psychosis. When I came to my senses, I did not want this, but the person that I was with scared me so bad that I just stayed quiet until I felt like I was strong enough to say something. It took me a while to break out, but after I did, life began to feel a lot easier. Now I had to repair. My mind and my body were destroyed. All the work I had done to build myself up was utterly crushed, and I had no will to live anymore. I've had to search for meaning again for myself because I came out with an even bigger hole in my chest than from where I started. I had flashbacks every day, all day. I had to fight myself and cry a lot, but eventually my work did pay off. It took a few years, but I can say I don't have flashbacks daily or even weekly. It tends to be a triggered event, which you can't help at times, but I'm very glad I'm not plagued with fear and those images anymore. So after all that, it's been 5 years, and I've done pretty well. I'm not doing exactly what I want to be doing with my life, but I am trying my best to exist peacefully after this traumatic event. I wanted to share my psychosis story with you because every time I have to explain what I've been doing the last couple of years and why I have to reference it because it completely changed my life and it crippled me. Like, I feel horrible. My bad. Anyways, I just wanted to share a bit of what I could remember and what I experienced to maybe help you understand how scary and life-changing this episode was for me and how it completely changed my perspective on life. And I feel like I do things as an individual very differently now, and I move so different. I feel like nothing matters as much as it used to. I used to be so scared of everything and so afraid of doing anything. I still did it, but I was always scared. But now I just feel like nothing else matters. Okay, well, everyone experiences things differently, right? So my episode might not be like the next episode or anything that you hear from somebody else because everybody could experience psychosis in their own way. But on to newer things. I'm taking better care of myself to ensure that there will be no medication accidents or incidents at all. Things have been going very well, and the medication I'm on is now doing great for me, and I'm feeling loved and excited to fall in love with my life and job again. I'm starting new merchandise lines with lighters and more stickers and handmade hoodies on the way. I've been diving myself into work and trying to treat my body correctly, so I really want to thank you for your love and support through these times. You guys have really kept me going through it all. And I feel like, in a way, I recovered for you so I can come back to the life that I love and that I've been trying to live. I've been trying my best to find myself again, and I can only thank you for your love. It has taken the first 3 years did not have PTSD flashbacks all day, every day. And I feel like I've worked so hard since then. And I'm even better than before, healthier and safer, happier, and have found love with someone who supports me so well. And I don't think I could do it without them. Since day one, ever since I was able to start doing things on my own after I'd left that toxic relationship, I made a list of things that I felt like I needed to do to be able to bring myself back to life. Because I felt like my skills were diminished. I felt like a shell of a person. I felt like I didn't know who I was, what to do, what I was doing. I couldn't remember anything. It was just like a blank slate. And it was very unfortunate because I feel like I've worked very hard to build myself up through, all my family issues and everything. And I don't know, I'm just personally very proud of myself. So it hurt me deeply to lose these things because I personally feel like I've worked very hard for myself to understand and learn new things. So I had to start at square one. I had to try and create a daily schedule for myself to just get out of bed and take a shower, try and remember how I was functioning at work. It was very scary, but I'm very happy to have made it out. The first 2 years were pretty rough, but after that, it's just been going. And I've been very exhausted. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Ever since then, I've just had like a chronic crippling exhaustion. So I have to take my time doing everything. So I can't do too many things in a day. I genuinely feel like crippled from this experience. Like, I felt crippled already because I was taking medication and there was a lot of things wrong with me. But this just, I feel like really just pushed me over the edge. It was something that was so unexpected, and it was something that I didn't think could happen to me, honestly. This was that one thing that I told myself that I needed to make sure wouldn't happen. And this is the exact thing. I don't even know how we got here. See, my first round of psychosis was actually my mom's fault. Because we were at Disney World and she gave me a sleeping pill and I ended up hallucinating that was like a monkey in the room. And literally everybody was ignoring me, and we just went home and they were all ignoring me, pretending like what I was experiencing wasn't real. But I very vividly remember that experience, and it was very scary. When I'm in psychosis, I just straight up fucking hallucinate, man. Like it's actually terrifying. For some reason, my thoughts are in such a decent place that they don't tend to be scary or aggressive unless something scary or aggressive has been introduced. So if I'm by myself, I think I can handle it. But if something gets introduced, it's like being on a bad acid trip. It's like being, like, not even, man, like, oh my God. I hope you never have to experience that in your life. Because it genuinely threw me so far off course that I didn't know what to do with myself anymore. But from then, I feel like I just had to teach myself and show myself what I've built and what I love to be able to try and come back to my senses in a way that, like, come back to the person that I am. I wanted to find myself again. I wanted to feel myself. I wanted to be real. I wanted to feel alive again and connected to society. I wanted to talk to people. It was very difficult. I had to isolate myself for a while to work on myself and then be able to work on my exterior because, social media is definitely a tough terrain. And it was a very, very sensitive time period for me. If anyone were to say anything to me, I would have cried the first year or two. If you just straight up came up to me and told me I was ugly, I would have had a mental breakdown over that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nowadays, it's not a big deal, I understand things a lot more. I've built myself up and I've taught myself, more and more things. I feel like I'm in an even better place than I was before. But it definitely was a very awakening experience. It definitely was unnecessary, but what can you do, So I'm really hoping to never have to experience that ever again. I casually do not experience psychosis, so as long as I take care of myself, I'm eating regularly, taking my medication appropriately, and the sorts, everything should be a-okay. So we're on a definitely very fantastic path to good things, and 2025 is going to be a year of growth, and we're reaching new heights. And I'm very excited to be able to share more of myself with you guys. I'm in a place where I'm being supported by my partner enough where I'm able to be more personal and share more things about myself because I feel truly comfortable within my skin lately. And I just want to thank you for being here this whole time, listening to me. I know I feel like I've been rambling a little bit, but I feel like I've definitely come a very, very long way. Oh, yeah. I wanted to shout out my merch line. I have created lighters and stickers. And if you want to check that out, it will be in the description on my website, oninymph.com, which has my portfolio, blog, and all of the above. Thank you so much for listening. And I'm probably going to be doing more like random about me videos, or I wanted to do Minecraft videos or like commentary videos. I was thinking about doing a video ranting about AI or how much I hate commercials nowadays because they all suck so bad. I feel like I have so much hatred for commercials and AI, I could probably do a piece on it. Yeah. Well, anyways, I hope you liked my get ready with me, my makeup video, and my outfit video. I had this one saved, and I've been feeling a bit more confident lately in my skin. I did gain a little bit of weight, but nothing crazy. I feel like stronger and healthier with myself. Okay. I want you to have a nice day and listen to this Brazil funk, bunny girl.